We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Gray Zabel, North Dakota State tackle. I think at the next level he's going to play guard center. We, wanted to always see like his film, versus higher competition. He goes to the Senior Bowl, day one practice, absolutely lights it up. Looks like the best player on the field. And, I think the film backs up a lot of the stuff you see. I think as a run blocker, he is a very athletic move around space. You're going to see him more in the interior, but like you want combo blocks, you want guy on the backside of outside zone. A puller. He's a finisher. He plays with nastiness. Love that aspect of his game. He can combo block. He can cut people off. And then in pass protection, I think he's a consistent pass protector. He plays with good patience. I think even better technique in pass protection when it comes, hand usage, staying patient, all of those good things. He's very balanced. He can reset, recover. I think usually where he gets into trouble is sometimes he can play over aggressive. Typically as a run blocker, he can get a little bit over the top and I think angles could be a little bit better, but I mean, I would think those are things you can work on. Sometimes playing a little out of control, but I think that's just because he wants to absolutely destroy some defenders, and I think I could live with the negatives from time to time when he's playing with some of the finishing ability he has. Plus, it's just really well balanced from an athletic standpoint to, I think, awareness and instincts as a player. Like, he has a good feel for all the leverage and things of those natures, and then he's just a very physical guy. He's not the biggest player, I think. His lack of length will definitely limit him to the inside. He's been playing guard and center at the Senior Bowl, and he's played it at times at North Dakota State. Definitely won't be a tackle at the next level. Doesn't have like quite the physical requirements, but I think he can do some of that stuff on the inside. So looking back, starting with this first play, just watching him get off the ball here, fire off the ball, and then absolutely work this combo. Attack the low hip of 89, and this is what I want to see against lower level competition. Absolutely dominant reps. You got to have dominant reps, and he just throws this guy, displaces him like 3 gaps down, and just puts him on the ground, and then still is able to get his body up in square and get it to the linebacker to at least throw him on, allow his running back to work through the whole of it. Those are the reps you want to see, especially from a tackle that you project to go into guard that can work a combo like that. Boom. That is absolutely beautiful. Really like Zabel as like in that second round range. I think he fits in perfectly there. He's in the next, group of North Dakota State guy to be pretty solid at the next level. Also, just a guy that climbed to the second level of things, which is good to see. I think sometimes his angles, as we talked about, could use some improvement. I think sometimes he gets a little over aggressive, but here you can see he's pretty explosive, quick off the ball. Uses that backside hand, that drag hand, to help 62 get control at the point of attack. And then once that happens, boom, climb to the next level. Able to get hands on that linebacker and then continue to drive, finish, and look at him just put this guy on the ground out of bounds. Everything that you want to see out of your offensive lineman. The finish, once he gets into a position, like he does a good job of sustaining, and he's able to finish. And if you watch the Senior Bowl reps today, he looked very good in his one-on-one drills with balance. I think balance is a good thing. He doesn't. The only time I saw him ending up on the ground was when he was putting someone else on the ground. So that's always nice to see. Balance is such an important trait. Here's another example of him just driving displacement. First Colorado here, Colorado, a team that's in, Power 5 team. Climb up. Look at him create that push. Absolutely displace off the ball. Drive. Hand placement is good. He's sustaining. Moving him multiple gaps out of the way. He's playing with good pad level, leverage, leg drive. And then just absolutely what you want to see out of your offensive line. Then movement out in space on some like pin pull concepts. He's so quick. He gets off the screen here. He's blocking the guy off the screen, but once you see him again, he's absolutely bullying this guy, completely watching him, and then finishing. He's always trying to finish. I love that nastiness that he can go out there and bring as a player, and I really like to see that out of him because he was one of the, like, if you're a Dolphins fan watching this, he was one of the guys I really liked for the Dolphins specifically because he is a guard. He's an interior guy that's athletic and plays with nastiness. It was nice to see him go out there and look good because a lot of the other guys that I think looked good at O-line were more tackles. Zabel was one of the few interior guys that I thought looked really, really solid. Attack low, another example of him getting down horizontally, getting, the body on 89, and then absolutely finishing late. I mean, he's bullied 89. He bullied 89 in this game, but look at him just fire off, sustain that block, get across laterally, and then also go for the finish again. It's just finish. Here at right tackle, I think he has played like every spot at North Dakota State except I think he's only played center like a handful of times, but he played center at Senior Bowl, taking some snaps. I think he's more of a guard. But look at this. Look at the pin pull. Look at him get on space. Sometimes it's not about always just destroying someone. It's about your positioning and leverage. Takes a great angle this time. Able to get his body on the second defender. And now he gets his hat across. Boom. Bring his feet with him to seal. Now he's able to hook this guy. Reach him. Get exactly what he wants. He brings his hips across. Now he's in the exact position he needs to be. Playing with good body lean. Good base. Good knee bend. And now this guy gets completely sealed off. And his guy's able to capture and get to the edge. It's exactly what you want to see in those situations. Which makes me feel good about if you want to pull him or have him work in like outside zone types of schemes. I think he's a better zone guy at the next level. But yeah, that's just another example. But he can go down and down block. Watch him look at this down block, attack the low hip, work a combo. But I kind of prefer him in inside zone, like working combos, climbing. But damn, just boom, completely wash that guy out of the gaps, man. And he's doing this consistently. Another one where he's more taking this guy on like head on like a base block. Gets a little bit of help, but like he puts this guy to the ground. I mean, they get all tangled up, but he's still putting into the ground, finishing rep after rep. Now we get into some pass protection stuff where I thought he looked pretty good in pass protection. Sometimes there's some technical problems, but I think he looks comfortable out of the step, whether he's 45-degree setting. I think he can jump set too, obviously. Vertical setting, you want to see more of those things. But then getting out there, staying patient, he looks pretty comfortable, playing with a good knee bend. I think sometimes he gets it a little too far, leaning over the top, which I think is a lack of arm length thing too, because he doesn't have the longest arm, so when he's at tackle, sometimes he had to lean too much. But it did show off his balance and recovery skills. He's able to balance and recover pretty nicely. I think his anchor was solid, and like here, this guy tries to dip and rip underneath. He shows good grip strength to stay on and then bring his hips back across, not allow that guy to win to the outside. I think he's very comfortable when the guys try to bend and dip to the outside, plays with a good outside hand there, good grip strength and good recovery. You get to see a little bit of snatch and trap. Guy gets over the top of him. Boom, gives you those hands. Snatch him down. Get his balance falling off. So just putting him down right here. You can see that elbow's out. Boom, snatch him. So it just shows a little mix of techniques that Zabel's able to have in his bag. Very nice player. Here we get to see have more of a vertical set. He does like to mix up his sets, which I think is a nice nuanced thing to have as an offensive lineman to throw players off in the middle of games. Stays patient. Boom. Hands get a little high there, maybe a little to the face, but like he's doing a good job stonewalling. I think he has pretty good power in his initial strike, which is nice to see. And I think it showed up in the Senior Bowl, which is where you really wanted to see it from, because these guys not the best competition, but he was facing some good players at the Senior Bowl, and we've seen North Dakota State guys project and do pretty well at the next level, pretty much almost every year. But here you can just see the explosiveness, his feet get engaged pretty quickly. Good hand placement. Good job anchoring here. Now, once he's in this position, it looks much better from a technique standpoint. He starts a little too far over the top, but able to get back, not lean over the top. Anchor, bring his hips up. Exactly what you want to see out of there from Zabel. Vertical set, aggressive hands. He's able to reset his hands, recovery ability. I think you see it more at the Senior Bowl reps. If you watch, there were some positions where he was at that Senior Bowl where he would be in a spot where like he should lose, but his ability to refit his hands and get it back into the chest were so impressive, and his balance and quickness with his feet to redirect. It's exactly what you want, and it's something that I think becomes even less of a problem on the interior. Like you probably have more to deal with power wise, but literally, man, super impressive. Explode out of his stance here. Guy tries to win around the edge. He's just able to carry him. He's got the range, athleticism, good feel in these situations with his positioning to just ride him past the quarterback. Keep that pocket clean. Zabel, redirection skills. Love this. Guy tries to win to the inside. We haven't seen this yet. There's open space because, the left guard is working to his right. So Zabel's got all this extra space, and he's able to, boom, bring his hips, feet across. Does allow him to win, and then he also even helps finish with his own guard on the ground. That's really, really nice. And another example of him just washing. Look at this. Right here, look how far 90 gets moved down. He is like 2 yards away from this hash, gets pushed past the hash. It's pretty crazy, the displacement that he was able to go up and get. Even here, man, like, look, he's trying to go to 90, but since 90 knifes into that A gap and him at 50 almost kind of replace what happens here, he goes and hits 50 as his first guy. And look where 50 is the one tech on the opposite side of the formation. Pretty funny how he's able to put that guy on the ground. Not what I was expecting on that play, but I just thought it was funny. Also, just heads up play on a swivel because he is working here to work this combo and then climb up to 46. But since this guy initially, who's lined up head up over him, works to the tight end very quickly, he does it and sees his eyes go to 46, body here, eyes to the second level, sees 46 try to shoot, so he comes off of it quickly, gets a body on him, and then look at the power to throw him to the ground. Really, really good. Like, I think he's just a smart player. He's smart, super athletic, plays with physicality. Yeah, he's not the biggest. Sometimes he can play like a little over aggressive, but the things that like technique wise that he'll struggle with, he's usually able to make up for with his great athleticism or just his positioning, understanding of the game. That's what makes him a good player. Is because offensive line. Usually, this is how I see it with like offensive line and corners specifically. There's so many reps where like you're not going to do it perfectly. Like the other guys are getting paid to beat you. The defensive edges and receivers specifically. They're paid to beat you. You're put in a tough spot. You lose like once or twice in a game. It seems you're seen as having a bad game at those positions. Zabel in like corners, you have to be able to recover, and I think Zabel's one of those guys that can recover when things don't go well, which is very nice, and that I really like what I saw from him. I think he's a pretty clear day 2 offensive lineman that is probably going to continue to rise if he keeps up the Senior Bowl stuff. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to 6